what is going on, everybody? It is Tristan here, and today this was the top like comment under my video yesterday. Not too liked, but I saw a lot of people replying to it, and they were like, hey, you know, this would be something that interests us. So today, just kind of like a sit or sell, hold or sell. It's a hold or sell for the Yeezy day drops. Basically, all those sneakers we had dropped that day. I was getting messy in the intro right there, but we'll pretty much just, you know, wrap it up right here and then get into the rest of the video. If you guys want more content like this, feel free to subscribe and like. Like goal was trying to hit 300 in this video since it is going to take me a bit of time to edit, but if you guys could do that for me, then we're good. I'd appreciate it. So that's everything I need to say. You know, check out my cook group coming soon down below. Of course, I'll have a pinned comment right there so you can go follow the Instagram and yeah, all that, so you can check it down below. But that's everything really needs to be mentioned. We're gonna have a lot provided for that group, a ton of stuff. I'm gonna be showing a success post soon, but like food discounts, bot providers for you guys, bot support, you know, sneakers monitors, all that. So just stay tuned, a ton of things, and let's get into discussing these Yeezy day drops and what you should do with your pairs. So of course, the first and most important pair to discuss is the Yeezy Turtle Doves, the 2022 version. Now, my personal opinion on this sneaker, since stock was high for this pair, we have to keep this in mind. There was a lot of pairs that did drop of these, apparently around 250,000, I think, or more than that. It was like something, I think, around 268,000 or 282,000. I could be wrong on that. Again, if anybody wants to confirm it down below, feel free. I'm sure we'll get a few different comments on the range of stock, but you guys are probably like, dang, I didn't hit even with that high stock. But just keep this in mind. This is what I think is going to happen with this pair. So you can see prices are pretty high right now. At least when I checked them yesterday, they were at like 520 for a 10.5. They went all the way up to like 630 for a 10.5 at one point. I should have definitely sold then, but I already have a deal going on, you know, for this pair. I'm doing a little trade with somebody. We've kind of got it organized and all that. So hopefully that'll, you know, follow through. But my best piece of advice on this sneaker right here is get that pre-sale in and sell this now. Unless you want to be holding it for like a year, where these could again go up to really high prices. I think we're going to see these drop pretty majorly. I don't know if that's a word, but pretty far in price, to say the least. So just kind of stay tuned for at least what we're going to see on the pricing of these. I'm going to look at this chart right now just to kind of, you know, discuss the sales and all that. I mean, yeah, 10.5s are up at 640 right now. We got 1,100 sales. These could stay up high in price. I think it's possible. I mean, if you look at the chart right now, it is going right up. But again, the reason that the chart is going right up like that right now is because demand is high, and also not a lot of the pairs have landed in hand. There's very few pairs in hand, at least. Some people's pairs have started to ship and things like that. But I mean, I'm pretty lucky right now because the 10.5 is actually the size that has the highest bid on it right now at 625. So I could sell this $625 on StockX right now. Would I sell it on StockX? No. But would I sell it? Yes. Taking that money off one pair, that's already what, like $300+ off one shoe. When you start getting to those amounts out on one pair, it's probably a safer bet that you just take your profits, reinvest it, and, you know, get ready for the next drop. So that's why I recommend with the first one, the Yeezy Boost 350 Turtle Dove, the 2022 version. Very clean. Love that Adidas did this, and the only risk that comes with holding Adidas sneakers is that we now know Kanye doesn't need any form of approval for them to restock, I guess, his older models, because he was complaining on Yeezy Day that they didn't tell him about any of the, you know, restocks that they were doing or what pairs, which I think that's probably realistic that they may have not told him the pairs. But the fact that Kanye didn't know about Yeezy Day, I think that's unrealistic. I think he probably knew about the day. It's just he didn't know what pairs are going to be dropping. So just one thing I want to state. You know, older pairs are always at risk of restocking, so keep that in mind. Do I think we'll see another restock on these? No, I think this is probably it, so understand that. So the next one I want to discuss right here, the Core Reds. Now, of course, these did drop in price a little bit. I think they only dropped in kids and infant sizing. I know we had some, I remember we had some adult sizes for this, so there was like a small little, like, kind of like exclusive access, or no, it was a draw, like everybody could see it, but I remember we had all sizes for these. Now, I want you guys to see this. Prices have dropped so far on these, like a crazy amount, but this is what it looks like for most 350s right now that did drop on Yeezy Day. And keep this in mind, if I go look at some of the bids right now, so we got someone asking for 316 and a 10, or, you know, let's just go to size 10. Someone's asking for 317. The bids right now, let's look at the sales in our recent size 10. So they're all at around 280, 290. We got some sprinkled across 300 and 310, but a lot of the recent sales, it seems like, are starting to drop towards 280 and 290s, which means some people are probably getting their pairs in hand, things like that. So keeping this in mind, what I would personally do for the shoe is if you have two plus pairs of this one. Personally, I feel like it wouldn't be a bad idea if you wanted to hold this one for 6 months, kind of see what happens, because these used to go for, if I go look right here, I should have actually kept this up on my screen right now, but if you go look at what size 10s used to go for before the restock right here, they were all the way up, you know, consistently selling. I mean, look, May 13th, here, let me try and zoom in a little bit more. I mean, we were having sales at 500, 477, 475, so we had a lot of people getting some high sales in, and these are now all the way down at 310. So that's a $160 to $200 drop in some sizes. some sizes, excuse me. So just keep that in mind. I think there's a lot of value that could be on these in the future, but it may be one of those pairs where you're gonna have to wait a bit to get a sale, since those sales at the higher prices don't happen that often. Keep that in mind. So it's just up to you, but again, always at risk of restocking. It hasn't dropped in a while though, so understanding that. But just one thing I thought I'd mention, it's up to you really if you want to hold this one. I personally, I'd maybe experiment, hold it for like 6 months, see what happens, but don't expect any progress to happen too quickly. But demand is there for sure. Since prices are low right now, people are going to be buying that up. But the next one right here, the Sesame 350 is my personal recommendation. I like this pair, but I would sell it. I mean, let's be real. If you got pairs and you're not able to make profit off them, or whatever it is, then maybe just return them. I mean, I wouldn't recommend just returning them, because at that point you're just like willing to lose a little bit of money like through processing fees and all that, and having to ship them back, and your time and things like that. So it's really up to you whether you need the money or not. But for Sesames, I mean, if you're willing to hold them, feel free. But it's just one of those ones where I would probably get the sale. I mean, I'm even gonna look at it right now. I know it's not doing too crazy. Yeah, only 280 sales in the last 3 days. Demand is not really there, and I don't really see it rising in price. These have been dropping since November of last year, so that just shows you demand has really dropped off on these. I mean, of course, you're not seeing the chart on the screen, but yeah, pretty much from November, if you go look at it on StockX, it has just been dropping in price all the way from 470 now down to its kind of 290. Sometimes it's at 250 for bids, things like that. So would I go, and sell the Sesames? Probably would, unless you again want to, hold them, because it is at a low point. Keep that in mind. So it's up to you, but I would just probably sell, take a loss or whatever, and reinvest and just get ready for the next drop. And next up, we got the Yeezy 700 V2 Hyperspace, which I believe is a new colorway of the V2, but these have not been doing too great, excuse me. When I go look at StockX, really, I mean, these have just dropped, straight off. I mean, these used to go for, again, it seems like a pretty good price, and I'm assuming this was when the pair, was, kind of in its early stage. It was still an early pair, so you can see, of course, it's going to have some higher sales at 410, 450, even a couple at 500. Mainly, though, at like 390, 420, though. That's kind of the range we got going on for the Hyperspaces. Before, again, they restocked, and now when you go look at them, I mean, the bids are not too strong. For a 10.5, most of the sales are happening. It seems like there are consistent sales. Like, there are people buying this up. There is a little bit of demand for it. No sales today, so far. It's almost 12 o'clock, and no sales yet on the 10.5. So it shows you that demand is not very high, but pretty much at a range of 250 to 300 right now. Bigger sizes going for more. Personally, what I would do with this one, I mean, I do see it going back up in price a little bit. So again, in those bigger sizes, if you have a few pairs, maybe hold on to them, for 6 months, 8 months, kind of see what happens there. But if you're not willing to, have that money aside and kind of see what happens there, if you're not willing to experiment with it, then just kind of sell it, move on to the next one. Don't get caught up on it too long. That's really what I recommend. But after the Hyperspace is, of course, the Yeezy 450 Black. These have been, I think this is actually, I mean, there was a US release and draw for this one, but this was pretty much the only Yeezy Day item that dropped in Australia, if I'm correct. If anybody's from Australia watching this video, let me know if you had any other drops. But from what I've heard, or at least rumored, not sure if it's confirmed, this was the only pair that Australia had, which is completely unfair. Why would you do them like that? But yeah, this has never been an item that's really risen in value, been high in value, been in high demand. I mean, there are some people that want them. There's been like 500 sales on StockX in the last 3 days. So there is some demand, but personally, sell, move on. Best piece of advice I have for this one. And again, now discussing the Supermoon Yellow. This is one of those sneakers that, again, has been trending down in value pretty consistently since April. So since way before Yeezy Day, 4 months before Yeezy Day, this one has been dropping consistently in value. So again, another one of those ones where I think it's gonna just keep dropping. Yeezy Day is gonna spike sudden demand for this one. It may flatten the price for a bit, since some people will be buying it up. There'll be a little bit more demand there, but just sell it. It's another one of those ones where it's like, this isn't going to be one of those shoes. I don't want to accidentally click anything, but yeah, it's one of those ones where it's not going to make any crazy progress. It's not going to suddenly have demand. At least for, I'm not expecting that. So sell, move on. Now, next up, the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner, and I'm talking about the original colorway here. Just kind of this OG one that we have. But when you really get into discussing this is another one that hasn't made any crazy progress since April. There was a big restock for these in April, and now we had another one in Yeezy Day. A decent amount of people got pairs. And, I mean, these consistently sell. I mean, look, when I look at StockX, 477 sales in the last 3 days. So these probably always have around 400 sales in the last 3 days, 300, 200, something like that. I mean, there's always some people that are going to be wanting Wave Runners and buying them. Sadly, quality of the newer ones isn't as good as it seems, but in terms of holding these, I wouldn't bother on that. I think there's some better 700 colorways that actually dropped in Yeezy Day to hold, but if you want to, I mean, again, feel free, but these are, cleanly above retail. You can clear a little bit of profit, you know, get some money, move on to the next one. So would I do that? Yeah, I would probably do that, and then, you know, just move on to whatever you got next. That's what I keep trying to push, you know, in this video. Don't get caught up on holding, you know, one pair or two pair for too long, unless it's, again, one that you really have confidence in. Don't get caught up on that, you know, just be more focused on kind of flipping, and, you know, because sneaker investing isn't strong right now. There's not a lot of people, pairs that go up in value. So just kind of be focused on the resale game right now, and, you know, what you can do, you know, to set yourself up for the future, I guess. Now, next up, one pair that I really want to discuss right here, the Yeezy 700 analog, under retail right now, and it is just dropped under retail due to Yeezy Day. And this sneaker used to go for $400 to $440, and it had some occasional sales there, but I can't really see what demand is like for the sneaker. But one thing I can probably say is that over time, slowly, this one will creep back up in price. I don't think it's going to be, you know, dropping in any more Yeezy Days. We could be done with Yeezy Days. Keep that in mind. Kanye is upset about it, and you know, I think there was something about, like, some sort of rumor, you know, around this potentially being the last one. But I mean, let's be real, Adidas is not going to want to stop doing Yeezy Day. It makes them a lot of money from shoe revenue, so I assume they would want to continue it. That's at least what I can say. But if, you know, these weren't expecting, you know, even within the next year, before the next Yeezy Day, because we've got a year till then, right? Now at this point, so even in this, you know, next year for this sneaker, I feel like we could see some decent progress on it going back up in price, because it's not common to see a 700 going under retail, and especially one that doesn't look half bad. It's simple, kind of neutral colors, nothing really crazy. So that's at least why I could see it going back up, is because it's easy and simple to wear, very comfortable it looks like. So just a few things to keep in mind, but it's risky because any Yeezy can restock anytime. Adidas loves restock, and they don't need approval to do them. No approval for those restocks, man. Now next up, the Yeezy 700 high-res blue. I think this colorway is absolutely crazy. I love the design in it. I think it really stands out. I would add these to my collection just to have them. To be real, I mean, I would have some trouble probably finding out what to wear with them, but I wouldn't really care at that point. I mean, this is just a dope sneaker. I mean, the colorway really stands out. It's 3 different colors on it from what I at least could tell. You got a little bit of like a purple on it. You got, of course, that kind of, you know, darker, not darker blue, but really it looks like it stands out. So kind of like it's a darker blue, but it really stands out in the sneaker. And then, of course, some orange on it. And I think it's really nice. And I think this could be a sneaker that's $400, $450 in the future, maybe even $500, just because of its colorway, its uniqueness. I think if compared to the average Yeezy, it stands out a little bit more. So that's why I like it. I think it's you know, something that just isn't like your normal pair. I mean, it is a typical 700, so it's nothing crazy in terms of, you know, that standard. But in terms of colorways that they usually choose, it's a little bit different from their, you know, normal choices they would go with. So that's why I like it. That's why I could see it being better. A little bit different. So shout out Kanye. This one, I might need these, to be honest. I think I am. I think I'm gonna need these. We got like a 9.5 or 9. Maybe a 10. I think 10 would probably be best for me. Just any 9 through 10. If you got any, let me know on these for this pair. Now, the thing is about the Tefra V2s, these, I'm now looking back at it, I didn't see these drop. I could have missed it, but I didn't see these drop in Yeezy Days. That's why I think it's going back up slightly on in price on StockX. So I'm just going to move past this one. Someone let me know, and then I can give a little analysis maybe in the comments. But I didn't see this one, so I'm gonna move on. I didn't see the Hospital Blue V2s either, so I'm gonna have to move on from that one either. I did not see, there's a couple ones on the screen, static V2s, Hospital V2s. I didn't see those ones, but again, any, you know, V2s, 700 V2s like this, all do better, you know, over time. So if you want to think about it like that, they're in a dip right now. If you need the money, sell them. If not, just hold them over time. It'll do you well. People always like their, you know, 700s, comfortable, kind of clean sneaker models. But we're going to move on from that because I did not see those. But one I definitely did see, which I'll discuss right here, the Azael V3. Now, again, the Azael V3, this is another one. I believe it's a newer V3 colorway because there was a lot of previous sales for this one up at $600, $500, even some at $700. So people, you know, clearly were willing to pay the high price for this sneaker. But again, with the, you know, wide amount of pairs that did drop, you know, big stock on Yeezy Day, this one again is going to probably stay at a lower price for a while. But could I see it going up in price? I think it's definitely possible. A lot of V3s have slowly risen in price before. For example, the Green Glow V3, I think even the Dark Glow, 2 very similar colorways, but I think they both ended up making some good progress over time. And I think this could be another one of those. It seems like it's pretty clean in hand. Again, there's a lot of Yeezy fans out there, so this is definitely going to be no exception to them. They're going to want this pair. So just something I thought I'd mention right there. Azael V3s. Personally, a little bit of a hold. I think I'd wait, you know, 2-3 months, kind of see if any progress happens then. I wouldn't expect, you know, too much in that small span of time, but you never know. We could see what happens. And finally, guys, going over, you know, the 3 colorways that did drop, the MX Carbon one. Here, I gotta get a picture of. Of course, since Yeezy Day, I mean, if you haven't been holding this pair, you better continue to do it. I mean, these have risen $50 since Yeezy Day. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is such a consistent rise right here. Let me get that. Look at that. I mean, that's a beautiful res right there. Of course, it's plateauing a little bit right now, and it probably will dip some since people are starting to get their pairs in hand, so keep that in mind. Price is going to drop. That's just a natural thing. But I think any of the Foamrunners that drop the Onyx colorway, that would probably be the only one that could be a sale, since that's one that's dropped like 3 times at this point. So if you want to sell the Onyx Foamrunner, I understand. But still, long term, could see that one going up if it doesn't restock again. But again, always at risk. The only ones I feel like are safe bets are the MX Carbon. Didn't see a lot of stock for these. So that's another reason why I think they did so well. So MX Carbons, definitely could see those ones. I keep looking at my computer. I need to focus on this, but could see those rising continually just because kind of a crazy colorway, and I think people rock with that. It stands out there, you know, those unique Yeezy colorways. I think it's just something that you got to look out for. So those Onyx, the Iraq colorway, and the Sand colorway, all of those holds. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. Foamrunners have crazy demand, especially over the summer and even heading into winter time. People just want them. So hold all those. I will continue to say that holding Foamrunners is one of the safest options in my opinion, because even if they drop in price a little bit, it's one of those shoes that has such high demand. You can get like sales above the StockX asking price, no problem at all. It's really easy, especially locally. You can get some crazy high sales for, you know, Foamrunners just because they're hard to get. They really are for the average person. So keep that in mind. But that's everything I need to say. Again, that's kind of my full hold or sell for Yeezy Day 2022. Let me know if I missed any pairs. I will go over them. I know I missed some Yeezy slides, I think, but I would probably just sell those since a lot of Yeezy slides are usually at risk of restocking. But it's really up to you. Again, if it's one of those ones you like in hand, then maybe hold on to it. So again, if you want more content like this, subscribe and like down below. Like goal, I said was 300. So let's see if we can hit that. And of course, the most important thing I want to mention is my cook group. Be sure you guys go check that out down below. It's right by like my Instagram. It should be above it actually. Probably the first link in the description to my Instagram page, so go follow that. We are going to have everything that you guys need to really help you out with saving money in the sneaker game, making money, reselling. If you're trying to learn how to bot, we will teach you that. If you need people, you know, to run bots for you to copy you items, we got that. Food discounts, you're trying to save some money, we got that. We got a lot of stuff. I can't even name it all, but you guys will see if you're in the chat. It's going to be dope. So that's everything I need to say. I'm Tristan. Check me out there, and hopefully I will catch you on the next video. This is a 24-minute clip. I'm going to have a lot to edit, and it's going to be a long video, but YouTube will like me for it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.